Hello, welcome back to the little Welsh cottage here at the head of the Rhondda Valleys on what is a very grey and wet day. I've just had my Waitrose delivery and two things that didn't come through this week was bread and what was the other thing? Oh yes, a big bottle of kombucha, which is my favourite. So the task begins of trying to get all this into my little fridge. There are a few new things that I've bought because I tried them in... Let me just take this out a sec, it's making a noise. Because I tried a new product, to me anyway, last week, and I quite enjoyed it, and I thought with these colder days coming I might need them. Here we go, the Silky Knicker bags are back. Oh, I must say these onions are a bit on the slim side, but it's nice to smell. Smelled I associate with the start of summer. So we've got that. Right, what else do we have? Beetroot. I do love a bit of beetroot, but these beetroots are really small and I tend to just eat them like sweets. So we'll pop that in there. I've got a feeling today might be the first day where it won't all fit. Now this is the new product. It is bone broth. Chicken bone broth, and I had one before going to bed the other night when I felt a bit run down and tired, and it certainly did the trick. It was like a warm hug in a mug. My Kefudrix. Gotta look after the gut, and the gut will look after you. Now, I think this is where I'm going to start to get problems, because I've already got mushrooms from last week, so I've got a feeling I may not be shopping for at least 10 days, just to try and get supplies done. But I've started keeping these boxes because I think with a few holes in the bottom, they might be very good as seed trays. Right, that's the first tray in. I do have another one. I wonder if I could store them under the stairs. Maybe it might be a bit too warm for them. Doesn't say. So where are they going to go? Nobody knows. Right, let's just leave them till the end and see what else I've got. Apples. You can't beat a pink lady. And these I quite enjoy now. Organic, can you just about see that? Organic salmon. And I just take them out of the freezer, pop a bit of cling foil on top, and about half an hour in the oven and they're done. Some green beans, bag of peas, can never do without peas, and this, the cats seem to be enjoying this at the moment, so I thought I'd give them a treat and get them that one rather than the usual mainstream, and also their treats, because they do love a dreamy, and these stick things. I've got 4 sweet potatoes, and this is the... So I ordered 2 kombuchas, a big one and a small one, and they only had the small one, so I'll just have to make do with that. But I've also bought some short crust pastry block. Now, do you keep this in the fridge? I would imagine so. So we'll find a space for that as well. And this is because I've been given some apples, some eating apples from a local tree. And in the freezer, I've got some blackberries that I saved towards the end of the season. So I might make a blackberry and apple pie. That's why I wanted to get the short crust pastry from. There you go. It all fitted in the end. Right. I'm going to have a cup of tea, tidy up a bit here, and then we've got a few bits of post, and I've bought something brand new. You were all complaining you didn't like it, so I thought as we're going into winter, maybe it's time to get it changed. I've quite enjoyed having this little store cupboard. I'm putting my root vegetables in here. As you can see, I've got loads of eggs. In fact, I think I might not get any from the farmer. Yeah, I might just send him a text and say I don't want any because I've got a big tray load. Potatoes, I'm doing okay for potatoes. Yes, I found it quite nice to come in and have it, and you can have a quick little visual of what you've got. Put the apples there, there you go. Right, let's get on with that cup of tea. Yes, it's a very dark and dank day outside today. But I think I might have come up with a solution so that I can carry on filming even in the rain. It's just something I'm working on at the moment. Right, let me just show you briefly. So the big thing has been, I bought a new cloth, and I think this looks a lot more in keeping with the decor of the room. It's got tassels on, and it sort of blends in with the autumnal feel at the moment. Now, at the start of autumn, my cousin and I, we started a tradition where we'd go to Woolworths in them days and buy an amaryllis bulb for about £4.50, and it came with a pot and everything. So I thought I would continue that because I've had them when I've been in London, so I thought I need one here as well. Now, Woolworths is dead and gone, although I do understand, I think it is still in Australia and possibly still online, but I'm not too sure. But I thought, seeing as I was online and I was looking at Farmer Gracie, I would see what they've got. Now, I have never spent so much money on one bulb. Try and have a guess how much that was. The variety is called Shine Dream, and it's white, salmon and orange. So I'll be planting this up very soon. I need to find a pot for it first. How much was it? Not including postage, £14.90. But it's a tradition, and I wanted to keep it up. So if anybody's got any advice on how to keep these after flowering, I usually get several spikes and the flowers look gorgeous, but I've always had difficulty trying to get it through to the next year. So if you've got any advice, let me know. While I was in the greengrocer's the other day, she had this there. So I thought I'd get this for the summer house, which I'm hoping when the weather turns to the better, we'll get the summer house up in the next 2 weeks. So I thought that would look very nice on the walls, especially if I painted the walls sort of cream colour. And then we've had a bit of posting. Now, the first one came from Christine. Let me just make sure this is the right one. Yes, from Christine. She sent a corn doll, a magnet for going down to the shed now, and some other little bits and bobs here. What's this? This is these are the bags. Do you remember, if you've been watching a while, I went to the paddocks and on somebody's allotment there, on their tree, they had these bags surrounding the apples because they had so much issue with wasps getting into the apples. They just put the apple in there onto the tree, and apparently that was enough to save the apple, and I've seen quite a few people do it since. So this is a little saying to go on my wall. And what's in here? Now I've already got one or two of these, but it is a pentacle. Look at that. So I'll pop that in there, and I will look after that. I'll give that a bit more detail later. Oh, and glass gem sweet corn. Now I've seen this. I haven't grown this myself, but this is the sweet corn. I think you can use this corn for making flour. It is one of the oldest types of corn, and it comes in a mix of solids and multicolours. Now I've seen this, but when I've seen it in real life, it was not as vivid as what the pictures make. It's a bit like the autumnal trees of Canada. I've got a feeling if you were to go there, they wouldn't be as bright as they are on the pictures. A bit like the Northern Lights. When I saw the Northern Lights outside, I thought, okay, I've seen them. They look a lot better on a picture. I'm glad I haven't spent thousands to go off and see them. Now this one has come from Sue, her husband, the boys, Milo and Ziggy. And these are a few things that she saw. A magnet called the Cup of Tea Club, which I think is rather appropriate. That will go down on the shed. And also some little signs for the shed. Would you like an adventure, or shall we just have tea first? And Alice in Wonderland. It's one of those stories I don't know anything about. I was too busy in the garden as a kid. And then this one, once upon a time, I picked up a black cat, and the rest is history. So that is something else to go up on the wall. Down the shed. I think that's all. So yes. Regarding the post office box, I'm going to close it, and I've decided I'm going to close it at the end of January 2025. So that will be the cut-off point, because it's £50 a month, and apparently I've heard the cost is going to go up yet again in the new year. And it's the budget in a few days, and we don't know how we're going to be affected, so I'm getting prepared for cutting my cloth. But I won't be cutting this cloth, because this is nice. If they could make this into a throw that you could put over your body, I think that would keep me very warm indeed. So yes, I'm thinking about buying a camera that I can go out in the rain. So I've spent all weekend getting up to speed with what the latest ones are, and I want a waterproof camera, but a camera that can connect up to the microphones that I've already got, because I don't want to spend any more. So I haven't bought it yet. I've put it into my basket. I've given myself a few days. I'm going to have a think about it, because now we're going into the autumn and the winter. I don't want to start thinking I've got to do something in the house. I can't go up to the waterfall, because the last time I took this camera up to Fernhill, it started to play up, and I thought I'd lost it. So I thought it might be worth just getting a camera that is solely for going outside in the rain. So I'm thinking about I think it's called Insta360 Pro. But it's not one of these cameras where you can spin around and look at 360. Or maybe it does it, but when I've looked into it, I can't see that feature, because I don't want that feature. But hopefully, I'll give it a few more days to have a think, rather than jumping in feet first. Right, what else are we going to do on this cold and wet day? I've had this box sent to me from AP All Powers. They heard that I'm trying to do this live streaming from the homestead. So they said, we think you need one of these. So I've had it for a few weeks, but I haven't actually taken it out of the box yet, just because of all the hassle that I've had with the shed. Because I will have to house it somewhere while I test it. It can't be in the rain. Nice bit of foam there. So let's get it out and we can both have a look at this together. Alright, it's a lot smaller than I thought. The size of the box threw me a bit. That seems to be a bag of something. Maybe it's a protector to go on top of it. Yes, it's a lot smaller than I thought. But it's a power bank. And I can run the camera from it. I can cut the grass with a lawnmower. I can even charge my phone up with it. There's a load of features. So let's have a closer look then. It's got an AC output, 4 plugs, and then it's got down here a car lighter socket there. There you go. And then below that there's some outputs for USB, so I could charge my phone up. And it's also got some of the newer ports that recently came out. And what's that? That's a European plug, I think. What's hiding behind this one? And another, see, so there's loads of things we can use this for while we do the testing. But yes, that's a lot smaller than I thought. I'm impressed with that. So I found the cable. Now you remember a few weeks ago I told you about a solar panel that turned up. Well, that solar panel can connect to this. So if we ever do get sunshine, it can still charge. But I've been told that even on a non-sunny day, which is quite often in Wales, it will still charge up to some extent. So let's plug it in for the time being and see what happens. So it's on 78%. And we'll leave it go to 100 on the first test. There's information there about how many kilowatts are coming out of it. On first impressions, I quite like the size, and it's not that heavy in order to put into the wheelbarrow for me to take down to the homestead, use it for whatever I want to, and then bring it back home again. I've just got back to the house from being down in the village, and this box was here from Sarah Raven. Look how big this box is. And what came in the box, I hear you cry. Just these two little things. Now, if you remember, I was telling you in the past week, I think it was, I bought a Christmas tree in memory of Barbara. But if you're going to grow a Christmas tree, then you need to have Christmas decorations. So I bought these. Alright, got to be delicate with them. Actually got a scissors this time to try and make it easier. I think they're made of glass. Right, okay, that needs to go in like that. There used to be a trimmings factory further down the valley, and my auntie used to be one of the managers there, and she used to insist they had no Christmas trimmings in their house because she'd seen them for the entire year, and if you walked up and down the valley you could tell which houses belonged to the workers because they hardly had anything in their windows. So here we are. These are the first two decorations for the tree, for the Barbara Memorial Tree. That's your first one there, which is a garden shed. And then this one, which is your greenhouse. And beautiful. She would have loved them. Right, let's put them safe now and probably lose them by the time it comes to decorate the tree. Now that's a question. When do you decorate your Christmas tree? I like that one, the garden shed. But then, I like this one, the greenhouse. I've just realised I haven't sorted out these two cupboards because I've just been looking for my dishes, my pie dish, because I thought I would attempt a apple and blackcurrant pie. Now, where is my apple corer? This is why I need to sort my drawers out. How often do you sort your drawers out? Doesn't take long, does it? To buy a load of stuff and then not be able to find it when you want it. I'm pretty convinced I had an apple corer here. Pretty convinced indeed. So I think I might have to sort these drawers out at some point as well. Won't be long and I'll be bringing out the slow cooker and making all the soups again. No, I can't find it. What's that? That's not it. No, I can't see it anywhere. Ah, hold on. Stand by your beds. Here we go. Thought I had it somewhere. Give that a quick little wash there. In fact, a good excuse to crack open another tea towel. Yes, it'll be time soon to have a winter clean. It has done nothing but rain. Oh, I'm going to put on my list of things to do over the next few weeks is to sort out the dripping tap. Right, let us see now if this is going to work, shall we? Let's just pop that on. I'm not going by any recipe, I'm just going by memory. So here we go. 1, 2. There we go, look at that. Like Delia Smith. Right, how'd you get it out? That is the question. How do you get it out? Ah, like that. Now, that's the question. Are you supposed to peel them? That is something I did not consider. So this might be a how not to make apple and blackberry pie. So let us peel this one off then. But then you're throwing away all the goodness. Well, that's a question for you to answer. Do you leave your apple peel on? Or do you take your apple peel off? These questions keep me awake at night. So we'll do one of each. Now I could go and watch a YouTube video, but where's the fun in that? So let's have a little bit of water so we don't burn your bottom on the pan, because that's never a good look in the winter. Just pop these in. Very impressed by this. And when the apple cores go directly in the compost bin. Look at them. Cute. Right. Put the heat up. Get the old spoon. And let's start stirring. Now that the winter's come in, there'll be a lot more cooking or attempting to cook. If you don't know what to do, then have a go. That's what I always say. So into that we add a knob of butter, and I would usually put in some cinnamon, but I don't have any. So I think what I may do over the next few days, although I think I've just found them, over the next few days, that's nutmeg. I will make a list of things that I might need for the kitchen. Anyway, we'll put a bit of nutmeg in then, won't we? Little pinch. So if you can think of things that maybe will be good to have in the kitchen, tell me below. There we go. Sweat that down a bit now. Now again, I do not have the right sugar. I've just got cane sugar rather than caster, but it'll still do the trick, I think. Don't follow me. I tell you now, I haven't got a clue. What a beautiful smell it's making. That smell is wonderful. Right, I mean, put the heat off, but I continue to cook it. And let us try. I can't remember if I've ever tried this before. Short crust pastry block. Oh, a block. I thought it was going to come in a sheet. Oh, well, they said it was a block, and a block it is. But that's not what I wanted. Have I dreamt it? I'm sure you could buy them in sheets. Well, this'll be fun now, won't it? Right, let me just keep stirring that. Stop it from burning. I'm thinking this might be a bit too big now. They've reduced them quite a bit. Oh, it is a sheet. It is a block, I mean. That's thrown me in for a wobble, that does. Right. Well, this is a skill I didn't think I was going to be using. Alright, let's just put that off the heat. Let's use the old trusty, what you call it? rolling pin. There you go. You got there in the end, didn't you? Right. So, how much do I need then? I do not know. I might just go down the fish shop. Might just go down the corner shop and buy a pie if I'm that desperate for one. Can you see this? Right. How are we going to make it fit that dish? Might go for a smaller dish. It's sticking to my rolling. Do you put a bit of flour on this? Oh well, this is not turning out as expected. I thought this would be a quick 10-minute job. I might title this video How Not to Make a Pie. Yes, change my mind. I'm going to go for a smaller one instead. In fact, that might work out better in the wash. 2 smaller pies are better than 1 big one. And you can save one. Right, is that thin enough now is the question. Oh, you won't be seeing me on MasterChef anytime soon. Right, give it a stretch. Oh, there you go, look at that. That's going in right. Look. So let us put the apples in. So what was that? 2 apples. So for the big one, I think I would have to have put in about 4. There we go. Right. Let's get a fork. Pop it into the corner. Oh, the smell. It's like Christmas. Let's get the blackberries on top. Right. I wonder if this is going to sink down a bit, and therefore it would be handy if I piled them up a bit. At least I can eat the blackberries then, the ones that haven't gone into the pie. Here we are, give them a bit of a push in as well. Right, so there we have the pie. Now we need a top. Didn't think I was going to use all this on just this one little pie. But that's life, as Esther would say. That's what people say. Apparently the sun is coming out tomorrow. So you've got to hang on till tomorrow. And I'm hoping to get out for a little walk, maybe to go and see the waterfalls. Or even better, I can take the bike out. And we can have a little run up to the Ricos mountain, because at the moment, the mountain that connects the valley to the next valley has been closed since the summer. Last time I went over there was when I took you over to the waterfalls, and about 2 days later they closed the mountain. So you can't get over to the other side. But I've heard that people are still going up there to have a cycle. So I thought we'll try that. Oh, look at this. More of it is on the boards than... Anyway. Okay. Give it a stretch. Look at that. Julia Childs would be spinning. Now, I've seen them do this on the videos. Oh, in fact, I forgot to crumple the edges. In fact, let's do that first, and then I'll be able to see where the edge is in order to give it a crumple. Looks more like a steak pie, like a corned beef one I used to make in school. I think this is more pastry than pie. Right, and then I've seen them do a little cut on the top to let the air out. And there we have it. A pie fit for a king. I'll pop this in the oven now and we'll come back in about 20 minutes or whenever it's done. Do you want a blackberry? I've just remembered we need a beaten egg in order to give it a bit of a glaze, but I don't have a proper brush. I'm sure ancestors, they didn't have a brush either. There you go. Give it a nice golden brown hue to the crust. Beautiful. I'll pop that in the oven for about half an hour or so. Right, here we go. It's been about half an hour later. Let's have a look what delights we've got in the oven. Oh, look at that. Can you see? Come a bit closer. Look at that. Now that is what you call a pie. And the smell is wonderful. Leaking on one side. But how will it taste? That is the big question. Now, how are we going to crack it? Can you see it there? Now, how do you tackle it? That's the question now, isn't it? I think it's a lot of puff. Well, we'll have a mouthful of pastry, whatever happens. Beautiful pastry. Bit too hot. I think that will do me quite well, to be honest. Right, let us get some bits of yogurt and dish up a plate, a bowl, you know. Oh, I'm giddy, it's all the sugar. Right, let's get a spoon and just attack it. What I might do is, I've got some blackberries here, I'll just pop them in as well. Right, just a few little apples at the bottom of that. But yes, do this recipe if you like pastry. Well, I'm going to enjoy this with a nice cup of tea while I have a look what's on television tonight. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch up with you in a few days. So from me and my concoction, bye for now. Beautiful. It is.